Welcome, colleagues. My presentation is on constructivism. I titled this presentation Constructivism, Meeting Students Where They Are At. There's a bit of a subheading that says Constructivism, the Future of Teaching. So this little presentation, will be divided up into 5 sections. First of all is a definition of a history, a little bit of a talk about how come constructivism is so important. The second bit is the constructivism classroom. The third bit is the positive impacts of constructivism, which includes some of my personal beliefs. Fourth is the negative impacts or the limitations of constructivism, which have to be overcome. And fifth is the conclusion, where I resolve that constructivism is very useful teaching philosophy, very useful especially in this day. So first of all, to the definition. Constructivism is a theory that says learners construct knowledge rather than just passively take in information, and they construct knowledge off the base of existing knowledge. So as people experience the world, as learners experience the world, they reflect upon these experiences and they build their own representations and incorporate new information into their pre-existing knowledge base, or some might call schemas. There is a very strong theme of building on the unique base of knowledge and incorporating and changing this base of knowledge where there is new information. So there's some important key people in here. Constructivism can be traced back to 2 educational giants, Jean Piaget and Lev Vygotsky. They both agreed that we come to this world, or we develop through this world and develop constructs of knowledge. We have this base that we build on, and that we're active participants that learn through real life experiences. Piaget then went on a little bit more to the biological, physical milestones, whereas Vygotsky went through more on a social development and scaffolding way. But they both agreed that we come to this world, this learning world, with a body of knowledge that we build on. We don't come with a carte blanche. But these 2 giants are not on their own. In fact, there's a whole reservoir, a whole long history and a whole vast empirical support for constructivism. It is actually a thing. First of all, some important terms. Piaget thought that we learnt through assimilation and accommodation. So the process of taking new information, we fit it into an existing schema. And then accommodation, we actually change our existing schema to accommodate this new information. And this is the learning process. Vygotsky actually also added that we have cognitive tools and social constructs where we learn, maybe through a master-apprentice model. The schema is our existing body of knowledge, which we change through the above processes. And scaffolding is some of the things that teachers provide to protect these schemas while we are learning. So it really is like building a house where we have the foundations and the room, and we're paying attention to the foundations. So what does a constructive learning environment look like? Well, a constructivism class, it starts with the big concepts, the plan of the house, and then it goes down to the specific questions. It actually follows student questions and interests because it pays respect to their individual and unique body of knowledge that they bring, and is the only way that they can learn, by adapting their unique and individual body of knowledge that they bring to the class. So there's a lot of respect paid to this pre-knowledge. That's interactive and cumulative, and the teacher acts as a guide and a facilitator. How can I help you build your body of knowledge? Then there's the teaching style that's more interactive. There's shared authority, because at the end of that, and it's negotiated. There can be some of the same assessment, but we also have points of view and debate and presentation. And the theory of knowledge is that it's changing, it's dynamic. The student work is more active and it's more social. So what are some examples? Examples might include analogies, comparisons, cooperative work, debate, play, inquiries, quizzes. There might be a time where a student might be asked to teach another student to reinforce the learning, but it's very active, it's very social, it's very interactive. And it also pays heed to where the person is at, not just their body of knowledge, but their capability via their physical milestones. So what are the positive impacts of constructivism? It's more relevant to the modern world, where facts are easy to come by, but insights more difficult. It incorporates transferable skills like communication skills and interaction skills, the skills that are really hard to get to. And it's more social and fun and relational. And it's also less patronizing. There's not spoon feeding. We're treating people as equals. What are the negative sides? What's some of the limitations? One of the limitations is it lacks structure. Another limitation is it's actually not rewarded with our current system that rewards standardized grading. So if you want success in standardized grading, but there may well be something there that needs to be changed. It feels to me like there's a lot of additional work, especially for the teacher, a lot of pre-work, a lot of recognizing individuals and the body of knowledge that they bring to something. And it can lead students to become confused due to a lack of direction. But these limitations can be countered with sufficient pre-work, and there's enough advantages in constructive teaching to far outweigh the limitations. And so to conclude, overall, a constructive teaching philosophy is advantageous to students. It actually describes how humans actually learn through assimilation and accommodation. These ways of learning are empirically supported, and if it's real, then it should materially change how we play in the classroom. There are a number of limitations that have to be accounted, of course, but the teacher's job is to help students flourish, and these limitations are well worth overcoming. Thank you very much.